This is where we run down physical media by the numbers. First, I take a look at the top 20 selling 4K Ultra HD discs of a previous week. I give you my thoughts and recommendations on every single title there. That way you can make better buying physical media decisions in the future, of course. And also we get into the market share breakdown where we look at all the different disc formats you love, DVDs, Blu-rays, 4K, see how well they're selling. And then, of course, we take a look at the future, make some educated guesses, some predictions on how physical media sales are doing overall and where physical media goes next. But first, if you love collecting physical media just like me and being a part of this amazing league of mega film fans, go ahead and mega blockbust that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics. And leave in the comments below your predictions for the top selling 4Ks and also the top selling disc format of the week. But let's get into this. So starting at the bottom here, we got The Beekeeper from Warner and MGM. One of my favorite movies of the year so far. Jason Statham, action revenge story. It's a ton of fun, directed by David Ayer. Kind of has a comic book feel to it, and you can't just do better than that. So I really enjoyed that one. Definitely want to get the 4K eventually. Next up, we got Dunkirk from Warner. You guys know what I think of this movie. I'm not a fan. It's not my cup of tea. It's a little, too boring for me. But some people really like this one, so that's awesome out there. Next up, we got Beetlejuice from Warner. We don't want to say that title too many times on this channel, but people are getting ready for the sequel to the movie, of course, and I can't blame them. I really love Beetlejuice. Oop, I already said it twice. Cannot say it again. But yeah, I'm hoping that sequel definitely lands the plane being so far later than the original. Hopefully they can pull it off, but who knows. Next up, we got Singing in the Rain from Warner, and I have not yet seen this classic movie, but I heard it's a great musical, and I'm a sucker for musicals, so I need to see this one eventually. It just depends when I get to it. Next up, we got Oppenheimer from Universal, definitely a blockbuster juggernaut, and people just love this one, and it always pops up back on this list for some reason. I don't understand why it's so popular, but has to be for some reason. 4K is definitely selling from Universal. Next up, we do have a new title here with Narc from Arrow Video. Now, I have not yet seen this movie. I actually don't really know anything about this one. First time hearing about this was with this Arrow edition. So I wonder if this is any good. I'm guessing it's a crime drama thriller type. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if you think I'd like that one. Next up, we got The Thing from Universal, one of the most popular John Carpenter movies out there. Very mysterious with the Arctic mystery, of course, and all the cool practical effects. And yeah, I enjoy that one overall. Happy to see that one keep popping back up here. Next up, we got Shutter Island from Paramount. Speaking of mystery thrillers right there, this is another good one, of course, with Leonardo DiCaprio, and it just gets better every time I watch it. You get a different take on the story when you watch it a second time, so really do need to check that one out again. Next up, we got Blade Runner 2049 from Warner, and I actually like this sequel over the original. There's just something about this one that just caught my attention a little bit more, but it's been a while, so I need to go back and rewatch both of those. Next up, we got the Dune 2 film collection from Warner. And I like the Dune movies. I like all of them, actually, even the original one before these first two of the new era. But yes, Dune Part 2 is a welcome addition. It's better than Part 1, in my opinion. More action-packed, better pace, more wow moments. So, of course, the Dune 2 film collection is going to sell well. Next up, we got a new one here with American Hustle from Sony Pictures. Now, I remember seeing this one back in the theaters way back when. I thought it was pretty decent. It was like a crime drama of sorts, but you had that one person in there. I'm totally forgetting the name. Is it Jennifer Lawrence? I'm trying to think. Hopefully that's it, or I'm totally spacing on the actress's name. But she won the Academy Award for her performance in this one. She just is wild in this movie. And yeah, that's all I can remember from that one, actually. Next up, we got Interstellar from Paramount, which is another awesome Nolan title here. It's fantastic as a sci-fi visual movie. It sounds excellent, and I really do like the 4K overall. So highly recommend that one. If you have not yet seen it, that one's usually a crowd pleaser for everybody, not just people that like Nolan movies in general. But it is a long one. Keep that in mind. Next up, we got The Untouchables from Paramount. a crime drama, which I have not seen this one in a little while, but it was about the Prohibition era, if I remember correctly, and I remember it being just okay. Next up, we got Killer Clowns from Outer Space from Shout Studios and MGM. Still selling well, of course. I absolutely love the way the steelbook looks. It's very creative and really a fun cover. And I think the movie is a cult classic, sea-level cheese that I can just have an awesome time with. And I want to show it to more people. So I can definitely say that about Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Next up, we got Escape from LA from Paramount. Have not really remembered this one at all. I don't know if I've even watched it all the way through. Now, I do have Escape from New York, but everybody says LA is just a terrible version of that movie, so I don't feel the need to go watch Escape from LA at all. So, yeah, I'm going to skip on that one from Paramount. Next up, we got The Hunt for Red October from Paramount. I'm trying to remember, is this the one with Sean Connery in it? Maybe. I don't know if I've seen this one all the way through at all, but I heard really good things about this one, so I do want to check this one out on the 4K eventually. I'm sure it looks great. All right, now we have Mad Max Fury Road from Warner. Makes sense. People saw Furiosa, wanted to pick up Fury Road again and give that a rewatch. And I don't remember too much of Fury Road, except, there's a lot of sand and driving and action moments, but I really liked Furiosa. So I kind of want to go back and check out Fury Road because a lot of people say Fury Road was better than Furiosa. So maybe I will like this one even more on a rewatch. Next up, of course, we got Dune Part 1 from Warner. Makes sense. The 2 film was selling, so of course Part 1's going to be selling by itself. And yeah, Dune Part 1 I thought was a decent introduction, a little long, and I wish it was more action-packed, but it was set up for Part 2. Next up, we got The Crow from Paramount. I still need to get the 4K of The Crow. I cannot find the steelbook in any Walmart. So maybe I can at least get the slipcover when it gets discounted in the future. But that's another fun revenge action story comic book style right there. And then number 1, if you have not yet guessed it, it's got to be on this list. Dune Part 2 from Warner. Of course, the 2 film collection was selling. Part 1 was selling. Part 2 got to be selling. So I guess people just really love this movie. It did great at the box office, doing good on home video. Like I said, I like it better than the first part, more action-packed. So yeah, happy to see that at the top of the list. And there wasn't really too many new titles that previous week to really go out and get. I mean, there was only a couple new titles that showed up on this list even. So kind of a dry week for physical media releases. So of course, these older releases are going to sell. So part 2 is going to be on this list for quite some time, I would say. Maybe even a year. It's going to be like the new Oppenheimer. But there we go. Those were the top 20 selling 4Ks. Once again, not too shocked with these ones here. Wish there was more newer titles, but there just wasn't too much release that week. So what are you going to do about it? But Paramount was killing it. Warner was killing it. I bet you they discounted stuff to get some stuff selling too. And that's just how it went that week. But now let's get into the market share breakdown. Let's see how these different disc formats are selling in comparison to one another. So let's bring up these images here. Let's go into the top secret files. We got to have, there we go. So we see that we dropped quite a bit from the previous week. The previous week, I was blown away, over 35%. I'm like, what is happening here? This is amazing for 4Ks. I've never seen that number so large. And so we knew there was going to be a drop. It could not be sustained. No way for 4Ks, especially with not many new titles coming out. But this is a big jump down to under 19%. So I didn't think it was going to, drop basically in half. I was hoping maybe by a quarter it would drop, but oh my gosh, half is quite a bit right there. But once again, if you don't have new titles to fuel the format, then people aren't going to be picking up the 4Ks. As simple as that. And then we got Blu-ray right there that did drop as well, about 6 or so percent. And so what's going on with Blu-rays? I kind of feel bad for Blu-rays more so than 4Ks because 4Ks are still selling well in comparison to what they have been in the previous months. But Blu-rays just feel that they're not really taking off for some reason. I would love to see Blu-rays around 30% at least. At least be 25%, if not 30%. But this is just below that 20% marker, which is unfortunate for the high definition format. But because Blu-rays aren't doing so amazing, 4Ks aren't doing uh, mind-blowing this week. DVDs had to pick up the slack again, so basically DVDs about doubled here, went from about 40% to above 60%. And oh my goodness, it's DVDs. What can you expect from them? Kind of that same DVD King amazingness. People just love DVDs. More titles are available on DVD than any other format out there. We already know that not every title will be even released to Blu-ray and 4K, unfortunately. So if you want certain things like TV shows and direct to physical media movies, DVD is usually your only option. I mean, just go into a Walmart and you'll see more DVDs than anything else. So not shocked by the numbers here, even though I wish 4Ks would have dropped a little bit less. But now talking about physical media sales overall, if we're kind of comparing to maybe say a year ago, that same type of week, I bet you this was a down week if I had to take an educated guess here, because not too many new titles once again. I was hoping summer would be pretty consistent. We would get amazing new titles every single week, but that week doesn't look like it had pretty much anything there to really write home about. So it kind of goes in flows. Some weeks in the summer, it's going to be amazing. Some weeks in the summer, it's going to be a down week where there's just not many new stuff. And so it's going to probably just do a roller coaster up and down through the rest of summer and just give us some, very fluctuating numbers. But that's how it is right now. And yeah, physical media, I wish was doing a little bit better overall out there. Of course, we know the collectors are supporting physical media. I'm sure we'll see a jump up when Prime Day from Amazon comes around the corner here in July, and maybe a few other sale times. But other than that, like I said, I think we're just in a decline from year to year, unfortunately, for physical media. But it's not just that for movies. I mean, we have box office declining. It just seems like everything's declining. So everything's struggling out there. Even streaming services are struggling to get subscribers out there. So what is going on with movies? I think that's the real question here. What's happening with movies as an art form? Is, it being devalued overall by society? Yeah, we know we have the collectors, the niche market, but what's going on with everyone else? Are movies just not as important as other stuff out there now? Are there other people doing other things and not really celebrating movies as they once were? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about movies in general right now? What's happening with them? Are they being undervalued? What do you think of the top 20 selling 4Ks out there? What about the market share breakdown? Were you shocked by any of the percentages? Where do you think movies go next? Let's have those fun movie conversations down below. Of course, if you haven't already, go ahead and mega blockbuster that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all future physical media number breakdowns. And of course, just have a great day talking the movies. If you love this physical media topic, blockbuster the next video right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.